Welcome to Epicenter, where we feature business leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators from around the world, especially here in Asia, who have something to share. And today, I'm with Saad Hameed. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you say it really right.
Saad Hameed, who is the CEO and co-founder of Game District, which is probably one of Pakistan's leading gaming companies, if not the most leading one. You talk about being a design thinking advocate, a gaming industry trailblazer. I'm so excited to have you here today.
I'm really excited to be here. The atmosphere is really cool. The people here in Thailand and in the Epicenter is really cool. I love the vibe, and I wanted to be here for a while now.
Yeah, well, we're very lucky to have you. You're here on your personal holiday.
Yeah, I'm here for the personal holidays, but when I see this opportunity to meet you and the team, I would wanted to come here and wanted to see the vibe, and I love it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of we're all in the holiday spirit, and so I think when people hear this episode, it should be probably in January sometime. But anyways, so we're going to talk a little bit about first of all the thing that you've built your business on. I just want to start with a question because I was reading an article about the future of the Pakistani gaming industry, and there was a number out there of like something like $300-400 million, and what is the Pakistan gaming industry potential right now?
I think it's crazy to say that the industry is 300-400 million. It could be a $300-400 million industry. I would really know. I think right now the industry is more than $500 million industry already. I think it has the potential to be a $5 billion industry by 2025 if everything will be aligned by together. When I say everything will be aligned together, it's the government, the working companies and everything, the banking system.
Yeah.
I think if everything comes aligned together, it could be at least a $5 billion industry, and it is the next Vietnam and the Turkey for the world. So when I say Vietnam and Turkey, we're already going out there in a slow speed because we see that we have a lot of challenges. The banking challenges is the biggest one right there in Pakistan, but I think we are trying to solve it by all together, and I think it would be great to see Pakistani companies emerging to the biggest companies in the world by 2025.
Well, I mean, the potential is there, right? It's the fifth most populous country in the world.
Yeah, it's the fifth most popular country in the world, and it is the second largest Southeast Asian market in the world after Vietnam's in terms of developing and exporting the games around the world. So it's really really amazing. It's really amazing.
Saad, let's rewind now, because you're from the gaming industry now, but you weren't always from the gaming industry. Tell us your story. How did you get from wherever you were to here?
I think my story has been really really phenomenal. When I rewind myself and I see my stories, I was just seeing the dots have been connected really well, and where I am together, it's been with a lot of people's help and everyone who helps me to craft down my career. So I was a textile designer, I was just in
Nice.
university, having a textile degree, and when I wanted to get to my thesis, I see that I don't have any money for my thesis because in textile designing you need a lot of money to build a thesis. So I joined a company where they are just trying to develop some games for the mobile, and the mobile is it's. For me, the mobile is Nokia at that time.
This was what, 2000?
It's 2009.
Nine.
So I was just see iPhone for the first time, and and there was an app where I see that you have this rain on your screen, and you just scrub it, and it just take the rains drop off from that. That's actually made me think about this, that how cool is this device. And from that period on, I was just start working on the games and everything. I just love drawing and everything, making cool buttons, cool UIs. So it started out there with my first company. And then in 2014, I went to US, which changed the whole narrative for me. And things I've seen that how people are working out there, and I met a couple of cool people like who were working in the industry at that time, Trey Smith, Peck, and all these guys were really really enjoying this mobile persona and
Yeah.
enjoying their featuring companies out there. So at that time, I believe that there is a lot of things to do seriously in the mobile game industry in Pakistan. And I just call my best friend who's just with me from class fourth. He was into the game industry too, and I've told him let's build something really amazing for the Pakistan. The thing which hits me and inspired me the most, it's YC. It's Y Combinator in US in San Francisco. So this Y Combinator is the biggest incubation center in the world, and I've seen that how people working out there helping each other and building a lot of cool companies out there. So I just when I just called my friend, he told what you want to do. I told him that I wanted to build a YC in around gaming in Pakistan. So he told and what you think it would be. So I told him that in Pakistan, developing games is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem in Pakistan right now is how to make an environment for the developers where they can just focusing on making games, and the rest of the things would be taken care by a company. So it would be HR, a space, legal, finances, operations, and growth. These are the things you can't go and jump into something. If you go go and jump into something like this, it would be really hard to go and develop cool games. So I said we will create an ecosystem where we provide all these things,
Like the centralized structure.
a centralized structure. And
Yes.
everyone create their own games with their own freedom and experimentation, and then we'll do that. He loved this idea. He's always be on my side, and he's let's do that. And we started that in 2016, and at the start of 2017. By 2022, we are one of the largest mobile game development ecosystem in the MENAP region, and we are the fastest growing in the MENAP region. We have over 1.5 billion downloads in total.
Wow.
450 team members, and we are growing day by day, and we love it. So that's the whole idea that from where I've started and where we are. And the one interesting story about the name. So I was just sitting in the Garment District, New York, and my friend asked me, "Have you thought about any names?" I told him, and I'm using the Garment District's internet.
Yes.
Right there, it was 2016, free internets and other spaces, and I was just using Garments District internet. I was like, it would be really cool if we call it Game Districts, because we will have really different districts around the world with this name, and it would be under Game Districts. So that's how we started with the Game District name, and rest is the history.
We have two things in common now.
What is that?
One is the gaming and mobile industry.
Yeah.
The other is garments.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in the garment industry as well.
Wow.
Shh, no one repeat that.
It's a good industry to be in.
No, the worst possible. The worst possible. But that was the family business.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you talk about being a garment designer, I'm familiar with the terms of plotters and cut and sew and
screen printing.
Screen
and
printing.
I just doing that for the whole of my life, doing this t-shirt screen printing. And when I talk about the Thailand and Indonesia, the first thing comes in my mind is the batik.
Yeah.
Because I was just there's a fancy technique of this textile with a wax. It's called batik. And
Yes.
It's really famous in Thailand and Indonesia.
Yes. So there we go. Two things that we have in common. And then, so you basically found your way into the gaming industry.
Yes.
And you've talked about 2022 now that you guys are basically the biggest, one of the biggest players in the SEA, what is it?
MENA.
The MENA app region. What exactly? So Game District is basically a company that builds games that it publishes, or it also outsources. Companies can go to Game District to outsource their game development.
So we have started our company as a game development company, but as I said, over the period of time, I believe that that is not the most important thing for me. I think enabling people is the most fascinating thing to do. Like, by making games, I think I love it. But enabling a lot of people out there who just like have a lot of potential, but they are not like grown up to their full potential. That's something like I love. And working in a growing economy, I think that's the most challenging and the most fun part is that people are really talented out there. They are really like energetic and everything, but at the same time they don't have the right support system to like grow on. So that's like I believed in that if we help like that like the support system we built, and they just like step by step like bridge their self on that, it would be amazing, because they are starting from nowhere, and now they are like showing their games to the whole world. I think that's very, very fascinating. It's really inspired me.
So you've created this platform,
Yes,
basically.
we have created this platform. Now every year we like in like incubated more people. So every new people come into our company. They come up with an idea or something. We invest in them. We help them to grow. Tell them the right ideas, what to do, what not to do, and the data we have is really like big. So we exactly tell them how you can be a really,
So you
really
like
successful.
incubate, accelerate,
Exactly, and
fund,
invest also.
staff, even.
Exactly. So the whole like idea like down the line also, we wanted to start our own investment like fund also, where we like investing only to the bigger studios, and then we have like this. So we want to do everything, whatever like it takes to become like big mobile giant kind of a
Right.
company. So we are like going on our way. That's the thing what we have in mind.
So how does a game creator approach you? I mean, you're such a big popular figure. I see your LinkedIn is always exploding. You're very humble there.
Yeah.
But if there's a game developer out there in Pakistan that wants to talk to you, is that possible even?
Yeah, it's really easy. It's really easy. Just like send me a message on LinkedIn. I think that's the best thing. I tell you a very funny story. So I was in holidays with my family in 2019. A young boy, like 16, 17 years old boy, just sent me a message, and he sent me like he got to know me from a friend circle. I had a picture with him. He's like really influential in the mobile game industry. He's the guy who actually developed the software called Buildbox. His name is Trey Smith. So that young boy follows Trey Smith, and Trey upload a picture with me on his LinkedIn, on his Instagram.
Yeah.
So that guy is from Pakistan. He sent me a message, and he said like I have been a big follower of like Trey Smith. You seems like a Pakistani. So are you a Pakistani and you're in Pakistan? I've told him, yeah, I'm a Pakistani. He said like I've developed some of the games. He showed me some of his games, and for me like developing those games as a 16, 17-year-old, it feels like he's not the he's probably like messing up with me or something. He's just like showing someone else games. So I just told him that come to my office. And the first day he came to my office, he was in a school uniform.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, this young kid, he actually have this potential to develop a mobile game developer. Today, that guy is 20, 21 years old, 3 years in the game industry. He is one of the most dedicated guy and understandable guy into the game industry I have seen in the Pakistan. He have developed some phenomenal hits. His name is Junaid. And at that time, I understand that, we are really old right now. And now we only needs to invest in the young kids, because the young kids are actually coming up with a really, really high ambitions. And at the same time, their knowledge factories really, really burn it up. So we need to utilize them and train them into the right path. And then we can grow from anywhere from there. So that's the thing I have learned from him. And for any of the young developers out there in Pakistan, they can call me from LinkedIn, or they can message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. So they can just reach out to me, and we'll sit, talk, and see that how we can do together.
That's awesome. So let's get a little bit into some details, because I think one of the things that we notice is that actually the way that games are built in Pakistan are a little bit different than the way they're built outside, specifically on the engagement, the gameplay style. Talk to us a little bit about how Pakistan got to that kind of level of creativity or even like engagement genius, if you want to call it.
Oh my God, I think that could be a one thing where I can talk for hours.
We got ours. Go for it.
So Pakistan has been really phenomenal and has been really advanced in terms of user engagement and actually developing games. So we are a very different market. I think I call it we played the Brazilian way, that we are not a very European style,
Right.
very we are very freestyle game developers. So we developer whatever we wanted to do.
So you got some Neymars and
Yeah,
Casemiros
we,
there,
like
huh?
we I think we have Peles and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone has Pele and everyone. So the thing is we have our own style of developing games. So we just take inspiration from the bigger games, from the PC and the all these sector games, and we just develop those games in our own style. And the thing is, those games has been really popular in the tier 2 and tier 3 countries. We have been millions of downloads. People love our games. So if you wanted to be a pilot and you wanted to have a really small devices experience, the Pakistani developers must have hundreds of games out there in that category, and it is really working for the industry. I think most of the industry has started by their own. They are self-taught. There is no big studios in Pakistan. Everything they have learned by themselves. So all these years they have been learning and developing their course to the core to the highest of their skills. So we have really great developers who are developing small games, but at the same time we feel that we have some problems because we are a little bit cut down from the world in terms of there is no studios. So we have to reinvent everything by ourselves. So sometime we are doing not the right moves and not doing going in the right direction. But now after the COVID, the world is opening up. There are people are going into the conferences. They learn a lot of things. Now we are developing that expertise we have of developing really smart games, and now we are converting them into making smart games into very profitable world class games. That's the transformation periods is going on right now in the industry.
And like when we talk about engagement, like what give us an example of like what a Pakistani gaming developer or producer might do in terms of gameplay versus what you would see outside of Pakistan.
So it's very funny. I was in a Google
Yes.
meetup in Singapore. There's a lot of Vietnamese companies out there and the Pakistani companies. So I was just talking with a Google monetization expert. He told me one insight which is data driven, and he can see that actually. He told me, Saad, where a Pakistani developer is making $1, a Vietnamese studio is developing $4. So that is the gap we need to fill off. So in terms of monetization, in terms of user acquisition, Pakistani are a bit behind than the rest of the world. But we are trying to get out there, and I think it's just a matter of couple of more years we would be out there because everyone is trying really hard to be out there. So that's what we are doing, and I think if we able to do that, the industry will explode like anything.
So that must mean when you hear that the monetization, it's almost a 4x difference, right?
Yes, it's a 4x.
$1 to $4.
Yes,
That means there's huge potential.
it's a huge potential. It
And,
is.
and there's huge monetization potential in
Yes.
the industry that you're in.
Yes.
What are the steps that you think the industry or you guys need to take to close that gap or to get move in the direction of the $4?
Yes. I think first of all is engagement with each other. The thing is, the Pakistani game industry was one of the industry which was not engaged with each other, and now we actually stepping up. Last month we had the first Pakistani a developer meetup where there was 70 companies out there.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. We were just out there having dinner, and it was really good to see all of us together and talking with each other. Now we understand over the period of time that we are not actually the competition of each other. We are here to help each other, and we can actually build a really cool ecosystem. When I talk about the ecosystem, I really wanted to mention the Finland's ecosystem of
Right.
gaming. So if you are even a Clash of Clan, they just come to rescue you, to help you like anything. When I've seen that, it's phenomenal. Everyone talking with each other. They are giving you references of each other's, and giving you the context that they have. I think that's how they develop, and that's we call it the Vatican of mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile game, it's Helsinki. And
Yes.
I think everyone is really helping, and that's how they build a really, really beautiful ecosystem. So I think Pakistan is going in that direction also. That should everyone start talking to each other. Now we wanted to help people with the more trainings.
Mm-hmm.
So because I think in the monetization and the user acquisition is something which needs to be have master classes, and
Mm-hmm.
the small scale trainings and the high scale trainings. Then we have technical trainings. I think for the technical trainings and all these trainings part, we have couple of companies
Mm-hmm.
who started jumping up into the ecosystem, and providing talent to everyone. The game train is an amazing example, which has started in couple of years back, and now they are training people, and those training people, and they are just getting into the industry, because there's a huge gap between the
Mm-hmm.
industry and the academia. So game train and all these other ventures like M labs are actually filling that gaps. So I think more people train within the industry people, and with the help of industry people, I think the gap will be there. And then we wanted to create some master classes,
Mm-hmm.
hiring resources from the bigger companies into the Pakistan. I think if we do that, the gaps will be starting slowly, uh, like goes down, and from $1 to $4, will get there. That's
Do you see that in order to get there that you need to actually bring in foreign experts into Pakistan to help bridge those gaps and share those learnings?
Yes, I think that would be the ideal case scenario, if we have foreigner developers, engineers, ad monetization experts, user
Mm-hmm.
acquisition expert. I think if they come there, they'll just come a very different perspective. I think they would be really, really surprised also.
Mm-hmm.
They just take you one step back, because whatever we are doing for them, it's very unusual, it's very new. So just example, for giving you an example, if you see you are having 1 million downloads a month,
Mm-hmm.
but you are not monetize them well, because you don't have a lot of navigations to see that,
Yes.
they probably take you one step back.
Right.
They want you to have a couple of more tools inside your game, so they can see what the navigation it's look like for your game.
Yeah.
So once you have that, you probably have less downloads.
Mm-hmm.
But that one step back is the cheetah's one step back for before a
Yes.
big jump.
Yes.
So once you have all these navigation system, your jump would be really, really high. And that's what we have been doing also. We have
Mm-hmm.
experts coming from outside of Pakistan, and they have been telling us a lot of great way arounds to develop great games, and how to navigate them best. I think that's the best way forward to go.
Yeah. They say that you can't optimize what you can't measure, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
so I think that's something very important, right? It's not only on the analytics side, but even like game crashes
Right,
and things like
right.
that, the basics, right? And maybe the creativity is there,
Yeah,
right, when it comes to the gameplay,
yeah.
um, but it might be too creative that it skips the monetization
Agree.
element that
Agree.
is very critical, and this is something that Vietnamese companies are extremely good at is
They are really good. They are really
acquisition and
monetization. They
monetization.
are really good. They are really good actually, and they are really good in terms of I think actually in making games we are really near about that. But the categories of making games are really
Mm-hmm.
different. In Pakistan, we have all these studios are doing simulation games,
Mm-hmm.
which is really high in terms of the whole Google Play simulation category games. Pakistan is second or third in terms of strategy. We are the first company who get we got the first country who get the most
Mm-hmm.
downloads. But Vietnamese are more in towards puzzles and hyper casual games. So they are also advanced themselves into developing games, because this like hyper casual and puzzle games are more retention. So they don't want it to churn out their users. They
Right.
wanted to take their user, and their user retentions are far better because of the game's choices they are doing. So that's one thing we need to learn also.
Nice. Um, so we've talked about the engagement side, the competitiveness of the market, and I think that it's pretty clear that you kind of gave a rally cry there to say, hey, Pakistan gaming industry,
Yeah.
let's get together, let's share the knowledge, and because the industry is growing, right? It's not a zero-sum game, winner takes all, right? I mean, how many games do you have on your phone that you're playing concurrently?
I think I have at least 100 games.
100 games.
So the fun part is that whenever my daughters take my phone,
Yes.
there would be 15 more games in my phone, and then I start downloading games. There would be another 15 on my phone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of games always, and I play a lot of games.
You're a designer by background, right? But you've also kind of become, I would say, a user behavior expert to some way when it comes to gameplay.
I would say myself a design thinker,
Uh-huh.
because I think that is one thing which helps me really really well to understand users. So design thinking is something have been phenomenal in my life, in all of the problems I see. So I think that's really really helped me off. And when I say design thinking, it's all there. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about this design thinking? It's very interesting how you take your background. It seems like, I mean, the garment industry is not too technical, but it can be extremely technical at the same time, right? Because it's so detail oriented.
Yes, it is. It is.
How does that attention to detail carry over to this?
I think whenever either you are into a garment industry, into textile, or any industry, at the end of the day, if you understand your user, it's the best thing. I was in London, and there was creative producers of Kings who just actually building their user acquisition techniques and everything. He told he just said one thing. He said we developed Candy Crush, and the Candy Crush is something we have developed around 35 to 45 years old female. Because he said why we have developed that, because we have user patterns and whole users persona of these audience, and we think that at the end of the day, a woman with a glass of wine is the best spender. So he said that's the persona we have developed. So when they develop this persona through design thinking, they do everything the empathy and all these stuff. They measure everything that how they want to do that, and why a user wanted to play their game. What is the reason? And when they are digging all around these things, they have a clear map that what their user wants. And when you have this highlighted thing that why your user want this game, you start developing that game around that. So that's the best way to start your research, and develop games around that. So
What is the typical Pakistani gaming persona?
I think for the Pakistani typical gaming persona is for kids who can't play games, who have more 13 plus content. So we just take those contents and make them for kids friendly games. So now a 9 year or a 10 year or 11-year old guy or girl can play that game into a simpler version without getting into too much UI UX, and they can just play really simply and feel themselves to be something. If there is a policeman game, so you just click, and get into the game, and now you are a policeman for the next 15-20 minutes, and that's the persona. But the Pakistani developers has been grasping really really well.
Pakistan, probably similar to many other places in Southeast Asia, maybe even India. It's not it's not a gaming culture, right? You didn't grow up with console gaming. You didn't grow up probably with Nintendo and things like that. When did this gaming like movement or kind of erupt? I mean, my assumption is that it happened with the mobile phone, and people understand gaming is on the mobile device, and it doesn't exist anywhere else, right?
Yeah, I think it's very funny that Pakistani gaming is has been there for a whole years. So when I was just young,
Mm-hmm.
there used to be like small arcade station in nearby our houses, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like not one, it's hundreds in the city. And we go there, we just buy these tokens and that
Yes.
start playing the Snow Bros, Contra,
Yeah.
Street Fighters, and everything. And it was started out there. It was our first first a personal experience with the gaming. And from there it was never, because once you start playing these games there would be no comeback. And then all the brothers and sister and the cousin actually start collecting their pocket money to buy their Atari or Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it was like that in back of the days.
Yeah.
Now it starts emerging, you see a lot of people are on the mobile, and some people have their consoles and everything. But back then, 15, 20, 30 years back, it was all the small arcade station which give us the first vibe. And in terms of we still have that arcade stations
Yes.
in every area of Pakistan, and people are still enjoying that. So the fun part is Pakistan, where there is no exposure to the gaming. There is no a support from the parents for the gaming. We still have the world's top players in Taken 7.
Mm-hmm.
Taken, the guy who's won the world championship is Pakistani.
Wow.
I'm
Cool.
just forgetting his name. Is like Ash something.
Uh-huh.
Arslan Ash's name. He was and then we have PUBG, and then this Dota players,
Yeah.
all from Pakistan. And they're even I remember that there was a small Pakistani Clash of Clan tournament, and that guy actually, the guy who won that, he actually runs a small fruit cart,
Wow.
who won that tournament. So
Wow.
just I just wanted to give you an example from this, that we are really loving
Mm-hmm.
games country. We love it.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So, if you have to give kind of your forecast for 2023 for Pakistan gaming industry, give me two or three things that you see as a catalyst to what 2023 or even 2024 is going to look like.
I think for 2023, 24 is very critical for Pakistani game development companies, because the thing is they have seen a lot of growth in the COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
And the COVID growth for the gaming industry is not the real
Real
growth.
growth, right?
It was the high peaks they have seen. They're enjoying the profits and everything, and they think everything would be the same, but
That's
it's
not
not
steady
it's
state.
it's not steady state. Now they have to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
They need to transform, otherwise they could be the dinosaurs
Mm-hmm.
of the modern tech. So I think, but from my perspective, what I can see, all of the companies I know in
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan, they are start working there. They have start working with the MMPs. They start working with the analytics. They
Mm-hmm.
start working how they want it to evolve. I think this is where they are going into the right direction, because before that they are enjoying the profits. You're they are on the cloud 9 with this organic downloads and everything. Now they are going forward, and probably doing some publishing, also helping smaller studio to grow bigger also. So all of these things has been doing there. And all the companies are actually see Pakistan as a big potential also. So they are coming there to
Mm-hmm.
help Pakistani ecosystem, like Google's is coming there, Unity is coming there, really soon Afly would be out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So I think all of these things are actually helping developers to build their self in terms of from user engagement to monetize them better in 2023 and 24. And I think now they would surpass that, would be most evolving years for the game industry in Pakistan.
Out there question, and you can say if you want to answer it or not. What do you think about blockchain gaming?
I think it's all messed up.
It's all
It's all
messed.
messed up, and I'm a big advocate of not doing Web3 blockchain gaming at this moment in
At this
Pakistan.
moment.
The reason is not that this it's not something clear. The reason is that the Pakistani game ecosystem has not actually um, get there with the mobile games out
Mm-hmm.
there. We don't have any mobile game in Pakistan who
Mm-hmm.
makes $1 million a month.
Right.
We have never a studio who makes $100 million a month. So we are not actually grown up to the full potential of our own. So why we want to jump into something new which world has not figured it out yet.
Right.
So that's my perspective. I think once we have 15 20 companies who are $100 million plus company, or maybe $200 million companies, that's when they wanted to get into this Web3. And I think right now from my perspective is the Web3 is really overrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm not saying that it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now it's really overrated,
Mm-hmm.
because the thing is, all these VCs, before they have this money, they just put too much money, which I'm sure they never get back.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the money which is getting there, just because they think it's going to change the world,
Mm-hmm.
they have invested too much money. And all the people, when they see this invested money, they just get into this,
Mm-hmm.
and they just make whole their company structure into that, and no one has delivered it yet.
Kind of too much fuel on the
It's
fire.
too much fuel on the fire, and it's going to be really really hard for taking that money back.
Yeah, and I would agree that you can't skip like Web 2 gaming or Web 2.5 gaming and jump to Web 3 gaming. The pandemic economy of Web 3 gaming was really about monetization, right? Play to earn, and that's it. That
Exactly.
was it. And we've seen where play to earn is today in terms of just looking at the incumbents in that space. Even if you look at Google Trends on play to earn, it's back down to where it was before it was there.
I think the only thing is, the first thing is that people don't understand the complicated
Hmm.
things when it's come to the
Yes.
growing economies. So Web3 and all these cryptos is really a complex thing till now. It's only 1-2% of the
Hmm.
technical people or the elites who understand and wanted to make money out of it, but the rest of the people don't understand these complex things.
Right.
So the mobile gaming is really simple. Everyone can
Yes.
download and play that from the stores and everything, and our user behavior is about that. Now you wanted to change it, it definitely would be changed.
Hmm.
But I think the right idea for the Pakistani developers and everyone's who just getting into there, it's Web 2 gaming. I
Right.
think it has the real potential right now,
Right.
because all the R&D we have done for the last 10 years,
Hmm.
now it's the time to juice it out.
Yeah.
And then so one of my friends, he's a mentor to me. He told me that all the people who had never made money from the games, now they're into Web3. So he says anyone who's made good money from Web2, just tell one name. And
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yes.
And he said it's one thing I've just discovered, that the people who never made any money, now they're in Web3.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I think if you look at what Peter Drucker, very famous economist, is innovate for today, right?
yeah.
Awesome. So I like to wrap up these episodes with a quick fire round. Are you down?
I'm good. Let's
You're
do
good
that.
for that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So here we go. What is your most favorite mobile game or video game in history?
That's a really tough one. I think I love playing every game.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
If you had to pick one.
I think there would be a really really tough one between a Mario and Contra.
Uh-huh.
But I would go with the Mario.
Mario?
Mario.
Yeah, we all love Mario, Super Mario. Which person has had the most significant impact on you growing up?
I think all of my brothers and cousins,
Mm-hmm.
because they are really hardworking and
Uh-huh.
they are really really they're really like beyond in terms of like study. I'm always like looking at them and see that how I can become like them. So I think they had really really huge impact while I was just growing up.
What is it the biggest misconception about Pakistan?
There is not like one misconception. There's thousands of misconceptions. Like the first thing I think we the biggest would be that Pakistan is not safe. It is safe as hell. But is hell safe?
Hell,
No,
I don't
it's
know.
not safe.
I've never been there.
It's a wrong phrase to say that right
Right.
now. So it's a safe as heavens.
Safe as heaven.
Yeah,
Yes.
safe as heaven. I think it's very safe. People are really friendly out there. If you go out, it's very different. You will love the vibe, and I think everyone should come visit Pakistan once time.
I think everyone who goes to Pakistan comes back and saying, what an amazing trip, what an amazing place, such amazing people there.
The biggest misconception would be that you come back.
that you don't come back. And what would you say like is the best thing about Pakistan? I know there's probably another 1,000 thing.
I think the food and the people.
Food and the
The
people?
people are really really like it's really hospitable. People you love it. You go into the street and you meet all these people. You'll get the vibe. It's very different. It's people like mix it with Afghanistan and India, but it's not. It has like their own vibe.
What is the last app that you downloaded?
I think I have downloaded a couple of it's football
Football related?
yeah, related game.
You're a football fan?
No, I'm not a big fan, but all these like craziness around
Yeah.
like this World Cup with Messi and everything. So I've just like tried a couple of them, and it's really engaging.
You actually come across as a very empathetic leader, right? Some of the stuff that you write on LinkedIn really is very touching, and you wrote about Ronaldo recently. I thought that was very kind of you, right? To show, because you posted a picture of him crying,
Yes.
and you said that yes, I mean
okay.
it's okay, even if you are one of the greatest in the world, that you can cry in your moment of
Exactly.
defeat, right?
Because everyone sees you as a leader or something. Like people rate or develop your persona is so high that you can't cry, and it's okay. At the end of the day, you're a human being. It's okay to cry. And the second thing I loved about it, it's like Messi lost the World Cup, and now he wants like these two pictures I've seen, and I see that how a person can grow, and there is always a chance for
Yes.
for him that he utilized. So it's amazing. Either on your down days, it's great to see that you can conquer whatever you wanted to do. And I think we all need to learn from these sports personalities and all these like the big leaders, that how they like go their self for the difficult times and come out of like more stronger.
Sports teaches us a lot of lessons about life, right?
It is.
And sometimes in a very condensed format.
I think sports is the best thing. Everyone should play at least one team sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you must love another sport besides football.
You're guessing it right.
What is your favorite cricket team?
My favorite cricket team is of course Pakistan cricket team, which was playing in the '99 World Cup. It's my all-time favorite. Yeah,
That's what was was it Imran Khan?
no. It was lead by Wasim Akram.
Uh-huh.
They lost by the Australians in the final,
Uh-huh.
but it is the best team for me because in '92 they won the World Cup, and you always cherish the people who won. But on the days, the people who needs you the most, your team needs you the most, when they lost really closely into the finals. So the team was really phenomenal. We have the best players in that team, and but unfortunately they have never been cherished as much as the '92 team. Almost like similar to the '92 team, because they were young and now they were like pretty mature. It was almost like Ronaldo not having the World Cup trophy. Yeah.
Since we're talking about people, if there's 3 people that you could invite to dinner, who
Wow.
would they be?
Wow.
Anyone in the world.
Live or?
Live, dead, whatever.
Wow. 3 people. I think it's an easier one for me.
Please.
So it would be Steve Jobs,
Yes.
Nelson Mandela,
Yes.
and Bob Dylan.
Wow. What a conversation.
I think in that room, everyone would be a fan of everyone else. Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
The Steve Jobs would be a huge fan of Nelson Mandela and Bob Dylan.
Yes.
Bob Dylan would probably on a side, not talking to each other. So I think that would be a very. It's for me. It would be amazing to have all of these three in one room.
And I think they'd be a fan of you for bringing the three together.
Oh wow! That would be that moment of silence.
Saad, this has been amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
It's
joining the
been great.
Epicenter today.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been great. I'm here. I'm having the vibe, and I don't want to stop. I just wanted to talk myself. It feels so good about myself.
Yeah, you've been doing excellent here, right? Come on, crowd. Let Saad know how much you enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.